What's up, Cherry Blossom family? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jessie, also known as Miss Cherry. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey guys, I'm so glad that you're back. Today, we are doing a full unboxing, review, and reveal of the Disney Castle Collection Little Mermaid Castle. So a year ago, I did an unboxing review kind of reveal for the Cinderella Castle from this same collection. I'm so excited to be back today, actually showing my favorite princess's castle. Now, I want to have a little discussion about this collection and kind of talk a little bit about the collection just in case you're not aware of what the collection is. So this Disney Castle collection was created by Shop Disney, and it's a series of 10 bi-monthly releases celebrating the storied spaces of our most beloved heroines. Each collection includes never before seen portrayals of enchanted dwellings featured in their tales, which is true. Like the Cinderella Castle very much looks like the beginning of the film where they're showing her castle. It's definitely different than like Cinderella Castle. I would think of it like in Disney World. It definitely is not that. And then live by the magic by collecting them all. So they have released several princesses so far. They've released Cinderella, Frozen, Mulan, Snow White, Tangled, Sleeping Beauty, and also Aladdin. Now this was I believe the 8th in the series, and this was Little Mermaid. So I'd like to go into a little bit more detail about the Castle collection. This is a video that's kind of here to help you kind of make a decision if you want to invest in this large of a figurine with this much detail. But for every release, they not only released a castle, but they released a Ravensburger puzzle, a Christmas ornament, a journal, and a pin. Now those 4 items were like a lower ticket priced item, so those went very, very quickly. They were actually very difficult to get hold of during the releases. So if you have a princess in mind that you want to get those for, I would highly suggest getting on the second that they release that collection. Also, the pin is very, very large. As you can see, the pin is actually the same size as the Christmas ornament, so be prepared that that is a very, very large pin. Just in case you don't have a ton of space on your pin board, you may need to accommodate that. And then also on the website, it goes into showing some of the past releases. I did pop those on the screen, but here's a little bit more detail here, and these were in the sequential order. So you have Jasmine's Castle, Aurora's Castle, Rapunzel's Castle, which Rapunzel's Castle is the Corona Castle. It's not her tower. Snow White, Mulan, Frozen, which Arendelle's Castle is so beautiful, and then also Cinderella Castle. There are 2 princesses that are still left to be released, and those 2 princesses are Merida and also Belle. So those will be coming up very soon. These castles are pretty pricey. This one was actually given to me by my mom. She sent me a check for me to order this when it was time. It's $149.99. So thanks, Mom, if you're watching. I have been waiting for this for, like I said, a year. And so I actually have a space in one of my shelves that is specifically for this castle, and I am opening it with you. Like, I haven't even seen it yet, so I'm so excited to open this guy up and see what is inside. Now, during the Corventina, there was a lot of changes that were happening on Shop Disney. So there was a merch pass system, which was a lottery system that was in place where you could put your name in for the lottery, and then you would get the opportunity to buy a castle, which is such a weird system. I mean, I understand why they did it to kind of try to prevent people from like reselling things, but man, for collectors and for people who were really anticipating like collecting the entire collection, it got pretty frustrating. They also use the same merch pass system with the Minnie Mouse main attractions. They have have since gotten rid of that. But what they've also added that I noticed specifically with this castle collection, the Little Mermaid, is that this is actually on back order. So mine was actually on back order originally, which I thought was very interesting. So it looks like they may be like producing more of them. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, it's time to go ahead and get into this castle. So let's do this. So we are going to start with the box because the box for this is so beautiful. So here is the box, and yes, this is Atlantis. So this is actually King Triton, hashtag daddy though. It's Daddy's castle, and so his castle is right on the front here. It's very shafty looking. It says Disney Castle Collection. It has gold detail. The Cinderella castle had silver detail, but this has gold, which is so pretty. And then on this side, it's actually the side view of this castle. So that's what the side of the castle is going to look like. On the back is the information kind of that I read at the beginning of the video that's like 10 by monthly, etc. And then my favorite part of the box, so this was also my favorite part of the Cinderella box, was you can store these sideways and you can actually see what princess they belong to. Look how beautiful Ariel looks, and then she's got Atlantica in the background. It's such a pretty statue. All of them light up, and they are so interesting because it actually lights from like the bottom of the castle, it lights the inside of the castle, and each of these castles include 3 windows inside of the castle, if that kind of makes sense. So you kind of see little scenes inside of these castles. Now, these castles are giant. I will put the measurements here for you guys. The Cinderella one takes up the majority of my shelf. So it is definitely a centerpiece. It's definitely a large figurine. So if you're thinking about getting them, just keep that in mind. And I actually do think that some of the other series, some of the other castles from this series are still available. This one is for sure. Whew. Okay. Well, that was kind of nerve-wracking. We've got Scar. So Scar is my knife. Oh, you know what? I'm going to lay this down. This one is much wider than the Cinderella castle, something that I'm noticing right off the bat. Like, just the box alone was so much larger than the Cinderella castle. And by larger, I mean width-wise. I believe it's going to be the same height. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Oh, I've waited for so long for this castle, you guys. I've waited for so long. Are you guys collecting the castle series? I know there are a few of you that I've been having conversations with over on Instagram that were saying you're collecting the entire collection, which is incredible. Where are you placing this? Where are you storing this? Because I feel like you would need your own room. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, this is so... Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. It does come with 2 AAA batteries. So I'm gonna have to go install these batteries because there is a compartment on the underneath side that has a screw that you have, it has a screw that you have to undo. Okay, so let me stand up so you can see this a little bit closer. And then I also got the batteries inside of the castle. Something that I will mention is the batteries are very precarious to put into this statue because you have to actually lay it down. It was a little bit nerve-wracking because these spires are so thin, and so if you could get some extra hands, I'm kind of here by myself in my house and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna break this, but luckily I did not. But wow, this is so beautiful. So here it is, friends. Here is the Atlantica Castle. Wow. Oh my goodness. I understand why it costs $149. And by the way, this is very heavy, so I'm doing my best to kind of hold it out in front of me, but you'll probably see my hands poking through because I'm gonna need 2 hands on it at all times. So here is just kind of the overview of it. Look at all of these, I just can't even believe it. Look at all of these details with these little, they're not spires, but just, I don't know what they would be called. Here's your on-off switch on the back, which I'm so thankful that you don't actually have to lift up the statue and turn on the on button on the bottom. They really thought that through, which I'm so appreciative of. And so let's do some details. So Here we've got the little spires, and kind of like with the Cinderella Castle, they do have an ombre effect, so it goes from like a light creamy yellow to like a nice mauve color. And then look at all of those little spires. Now here are the 3 windows, but we will go into them in just a minute because I want to illuminate them so you can see them better. These also have very long windows, and when you light up the castle, those will light up as well. And then here's the entrance to the castle. And as you can see, there's lots of really cool detail down here. It almost looks like coral-like. It's got this really cool opening, but check this out. Here are the doors to the castle. How amazing is that? So they open, and then I will show you the bottom. So it does say Little Mermaid, Disney, and Disney Castle Collection on the bottom. And then there's the little screw that you have to undo. And then here's the battery compartment. But I just love the contrast between the dark blue and also the yellow. I think it's so stunning. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the light and then turn on the statue. Okay, are you guys ready? Oh my gosh, wow, wow, wow. So I think the best part of this, like when we had the Cinderella Castle, it just had little lights that kind of illuminated the castle. This castle is actually illuminated from the inside. Like, I am just floored. So we're gonna start down here. So down here is the little concert hall. And this is where Ariel is late for the concert. See her arriving a little bit late at the concert right in there. And then we'll do a slow pan down. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. And then here is the next window. I had to turn on the light for that. So it looks like a little bedroom with like a little chandelier up here at the top. It's actually a little bit difficult to make out. And then here at the top, the third window is, it looks like an actual fountain on the inside. It's kind of difficult to see. Yeah, there we go. It looks like a fountain on the inside, which we don't really see a lot of, the castle in the film itself. We see the exterior of it, but we don't really see the interior of it. So it's definitely left to the imagination. I think the best part of this figurine are these spires that illuminate from the inside. Like, doesn't it make it look so dreamy? And then I'll do a full turn so you guys can see what it looks like. How stunning is this? And here's the light in the back. So there's like a circular light that kind of illuminates behind so you can see the different depths. That's very similar to what they did with the Cinderella Castle. Oh my gosh, how stunning is this? Now, there were some complaints that people had about this collection. Some of the complaints were how they didn't care for the paint job. They thought the paint job was sloppy. I don't have a problem with it personally. I think it's so pretty. This whole castle is like more than I could have ever asked for. Like, I never thought that they were going to do Atlantica. I always thought that they were going to be doing Prince Eric's castle. So seeing that they were doing Atlantica, like, it was an absolute no-brainer. It does have some pearlescent element to it too, but I'm not sure if that picked up on camera, but it is there. Again, this statue is at least 10 inches tall, so keep that in mind. It's super giant. I understand why the box was so large though, because they really had to package the front of that figurine pretty greatly because of all of the details. I am so thankful that they packaged it so well. That is an intricate statue. I would love to know what your impression of this statue is. It definitely reminds me of nighttime at Tokyo Disney, and so as a huge fan of King Triton, as a huge fan of Little Mermaid, I am so glad that this is the one that they chose to make and not Prince Eric's castle. If you have collected any of the Disney Castle collection, I would love to know which of the castles that you purchased for your collection and what you think of this collection in general. I just didn't love the deployment of this collection, especially with kind of the messy merch pass, but I do like how they have different options. Like, if you don't want the castle, like, you can get a Christmas ornament, a pin, a notebook. You can also get puzzles and different things like that. So it did give an option, like if you didn't want to collect all of these giant castles which they are giant, you have the option to collect other things. So I really appreciated that about the collection. I am only going to be collecting these two, Cinderella and also Little Mermaid. So this is like kind of it for me when it comes to this collection, but I'm so glad that they created this, and I'm so thankful that I was able to get my hands on it. If you would like me to do more merchandise reveals like this, I would love to know, so please let me know down below in the comments. We're gonna be doing a huge giveaway over on Instagram, so be sure to be following me over there. It's at Miss Jessi Cherry. I'm also over on TikTok, and I do have a toy unboxing channel, so if you're interested in any of those, all of my social medias and other channel will be linked in the description box down below. I had so much fun hanging out with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next video. TTFN, bye!